Yeah, I guess you can't use your finger, but
Okay.
this is so much nicer.
Okay, and it's easy to
Lose.
Yeah. It's just a regular Oh, it's just a screen on your back.
Thanks.
So the main power, start the heater, get it going. So while that's doing its thing, this is the Pretreat machine. Main power is right here. Well, I take that back. The main power is back here. There's a switch. I always leave it on. And then when you want to use it, you press this power. But before you do that, this bottle here, the front one, is distilled water. Always. That's what you use to clean it with. I put black cotton Pretreat here. I put white back here. And this one's just got distilled water in it. There are 4 solutions, white and black of each, for cotton and polyester. So, yeah, you can do polyester. They're different solutions, and they're down here. You can only use one at a time, and to use it, you turn this little valve. So now that's active. When you go to clean, you turn the water on. And then cleaning, you got to clean the lines out. So in the end, you will take this out, put in here to clean the lines. Dark cotton, which would be black, or anything that's not white. Dark polyester. White polyester or light polyester. And light cotton.
Okay.
So they don't say white, but you'd use this if it was a lighter colored shirt. Use that if it's a dark shirt.
If it's cotton.
You just use the poly for blends?
Blends, I've used these.
Cotton.
Because majority of blends are more cotton than polyester. Distilled water. Mejun bought me a bunch, and I asked her to buy me more, and the dean said no.
Yeah.
So I have a couple bottles that I took the label off, and I'll just use regular water. Because at the end of the day, the inside of this is sprayed with all this solution. So if you leave it, it gets gummy. Wipe it down, pour water all over everything.
You don't put any through the sprayer?
Yes,
You
but
do?
only distilled. That's what this is for. So since she told me that was there, I'm keeping some bottles now with the label on them still.
Yeah.
But that's what those are down there. That came with a heat press, something to do with positioning. Anyway, in here are parts. Each hose has one of these filters at the end. And they tell you don't let these dry out, so they have to be in liquid. Okay? I got a Buckhead Mejun order a bunch. This is it's called a SOL, S-O-L valve. It controls the spray of the solution. From day one when I got this, the right hand spray is less than the left. So what I do is I'll pull them out, soak them in hot water, and then clean things, and then go get those, and I take the air hose and blast it from both sides, and then look through it. So this is the spray unit here. This is just a pad. So when you turn it on, see how this is?
Yeah, okay.
When I turn this on, it opens up. So these unscrew, and there's the sprayer. I soak these just to get the gumminess, and soak those, and then
hot water.
hot water. And I just use one of the beakers over there.
Yeah. We have enough containers.
And then after I clean everything here, then I put them back in. And so, you screw these on. See how the nozzle is? The book tells you to angle them like this. Slight angle to it. And so they're both angled. If you have a sonic cleaner, you know what those are? They clean jewelry with.
Yeah.
They say that's best to clean the nozzle. And then you open up the valve you want to spray from, which
Bless you.
I'm going to do white cotton right now. Because I want to have some white cotton ones and then test both. So I use paper. So I'll put a few sheets of paper in
To basically flush out
at a
all
time to flush out.
the water until the solution starts.
So over here, hour. And then you have round trip, means it sprays this way and this way. You can turn that off. So it only sprays one way. Volume. An amount, milliliters or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I've just been playing with them. I was up to like 70.
Oh.
Shirts drenched. If you have too much pre-treat, your ink can be fuzzy. Not enough ink, pre-treat, your ink won't adhere, it can be fuzzy.
Lighter.
So you have to play with it. And I don't know the magic number. This is the area you want to spray. So the top of the shirt is back here, based on their drawing. So you would open this up, lay your shirt down, and then do you want to spray the whole shirt? Do you just want to spray upper portion, or just bottom portion, or half this side or half this side? So
Is there a benefit to doing the whole thing?
I'm from here to there, which is maybe a little over half. If I want to reset it, I can press this, do the whole thing, and if I keep going, see what it does? Now it's only doing the lower half. If I want to go to that side, only the lower half on that side. So you can kind of,
Really customize where you're.
so if you're doing an image up here like this big, you don't want to spray all down here.
Yeah.
One, it's a waste of material, and two, you're gonna have this crusty shirt until you wash it.
Yeah.
It's all approximate, so to clean it out, I'm gonna spray everything. Just get the water out of it. You can create programs. I don't even know what I should be spraying at yet, so I can't build a program.
Right.
And then cost, I don't know what that means. I don't care. But I guess it will define a cost of how much you spray. And then this is a clean button. Pre-scan, I guess you can see, I've never used it. I guess you can see where it's gonna go to. And then start and stop. So if I press start, it's gonna spray. Now I have round trip off, so it only did one pass.
It looked like only one nozzle spray.
Now they are both, but the right side is less than the left.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that.
So what I have done, I've seen some things where the pre-treat not being 100% even has made a difference. So what I did then was I did one pass, turned the shirt around,
Right.
did another pass.
Just to make sure.
And what
that's-
happens is the middle usually gets a heavier dose.
Oh,
So I've tried adjusting the nozzles so it didn't overlap as much, but I haven't found a sweet spot for it. So now I put it on round trip, so when I press start, it'll come forward and back.
Oh yeah, you can really see how
Yeah.
light that right-hand side is.
Now see how it's turned a little white and it's got bubbles?
Yeah.
Now we're getting to the solution.
And you can see in the middle how it,
And I don't know if you just saw that, I tilted it and it all ran off.
yeah.
It's because it's not absorbing into the paper.
Right.
It will into the fabric, so it's not going to run like that. So you can see the white now here. I am going to do it one more time,
Just
just
to
to
really
make sure.
clear.
But I don't need to do round trip.
Wow.
So it's spraying the solution now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's ready. This is ready. I'll be right back. It seems like a lot,
Yeah.
but you can do it pretty quick.
Yeah.
once you get used to it. I found out, I used to dread it. God, I get one shirt for it. And 15, 20 minutes. Done.
Okay. Yeah.
So,
See?
you can make it. It seems daunting now, I get it. So, I'll put this on here. I always hang the collar off because I'm not printing on the collar. Tuck in what you don't want sprayed as much as you can. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat like the printer.
Okay. That one's a little more forgiving.
Yep. I am going to do the whole thing because I have no idea what I'm printing on there. So, since it's white, I'm just going to do one pass.
Somebody
Press
here?
start.
Gotta press start nation.
Some shop wires.
Yeah. There you go. Go ahead and pull it open. So we'll be able to see it. Do the wrinkles make a difference? Because is that going to make it catch more, less? Now you
I don't
haven't
know.
Noticed? Okay.
Scientific stuff.
All right.
And it was not round trip. So
Oh, I
usually
did
you
one.
do once. Not
It depends. But since white, you don't necessarily have to have,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to do it twice.
Right.
But I can do another one twice and then run no pre-treat, one pass, two pass. And that's the only way to figure out.
How it all
How it all
reacts.
works.
Yeah.
Even though it's spraying weaker on that one side, you're not gonna do two.
We're going to find out. So now I need to cure the pre-treat. A setting called Cure DTG and pre-treat. I added those. And all of their stuff's programmed in here.
To heat it up to get to this step, you just turned it on.
Yeah.
It's set at a temperature.
So if for some reason it's not what you want it to be, let's say somebody changed it. It's not curing the ink or it's not on pre-treat. You go to this little icon on the left and there's a whole list of stuff. Hit the down arrow and here is cure and here is pre-treat. If I go back home, one is cure and one's pre-treat. This moves. So it's really a production machine.
So you
While
can
that's curing,
utilize-
you set up another shirt. And if it's set up right, this will move automatically when it's done. So pre-treat is highlighted, that's on this side. If I go back here, it'll jump up to cure being highlighted. Different settings. Now I could go through and make this pre-treat also. Just depends what you want.
I see.
So this is set for pre-treat.
And that, the amount of time it was on there was good enough?
But he hasn't pressed it yet.
Hang on one second. So we use this box. It's got all these sheets. I forget what they're called. Some are Teflon, some are silicone, and I don't know what's what. When you cure the pre-treat, you use these. Okay? Just put it over the shirt. And since I need to move it, press the foot pedal. To make it work, you press and hold both these blue buttons until it drops. Look up. It's got the pressure setting, it's got the time. You can use PSD files, JPEGs, TIFF, and PNG with a transparent background. 300 ppi.
But no videos.
Correct. So, on my cheat sheet, there's pre-treatment issues and room settings, heat press settings. So pre-treatment, here at 320 degrees, well, I'm at 331, for 60 seconds. 3 times 20 seconds each.
Whoa, that's a lot.
The reason being, it's to allow moisture to escape because it's wet. If you did it for straight 60 seconds, The moisture can go nowhere.
So
it's a breathing.
Steaming it out,
Yep.
basically. Okay.
When you do it once, change sheets.
And these are reusable?
Reusable up to
time?
a point.
Okay.
I can't tell you what point that is by looking at it. You'll know when you put it down and it peels off really hard.
Oh.
Not
It's been
hard,
cooked
but
too
instead
much.
of just
So, like,
lifting
it's
up,
stuck- it's stuck
it'll
to the-
stick to it and you gotta peel it. That, throw it away.
That's not just accumulating on there.
Yeah. It still works. I've printed on shirts like that, but it leaves white spot. You won't see it on white, just see it on black.
Black.
And then curing is 90 seconds 2 times, light pressure. What is light pressure?
That's a great question, Ken.
So it's still damp. So you want to do things fast, but at the same time you want to let it breathe.
Yeah.
Success formula. Shirt type, 100% ring spun, comb cotton. Pretreat, too little faded color, too much, cracked image. It washes out and you get a ghost box. I think I got a lot of those. Pretreat, 320.
Almost like the ghosting that would happen on the Max Press over there? Okay.
For ink, Teflon sheet is supposed to give you a glossy finish to the white ink. Matte release paper, dark garments give you a matte finish. And 5 to 10 uses. I think that's what this is. And a silicone release paper will give you a semi-gloss. I have all these white sheets and I have this one, and I have forgotten which is which. But I only have one of these.
I think that is.
I use this to
Teflon.
cure the ink.
Just tell me the pre specs again. Like the degrees, the pressure.
320.
Pretreat 320 degrees for 60 seconds. 3 times at 20 seconds each.
How much is?
But I'm a little hot.
20 on the push down.
I'm at 19 pounds per square inch, which is, I'm guessing, light, because it'll go up. I had it up to 100, and our regulator wouldn't keep up with it. They kept telling me,
Gosh.
not enough pressure.
Pretreat 320, 3 times?
Yes, at 20 seconds each.
20 seconds.
So that was the 3rd time, and it's nice and dry. If you feel it, you can feel a light crustiness on it. That's the
Yeah.
solution.
I can even see it kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
So that is one shirt, one pass. This time, I'm going to do one pass. But I'm going to turn it around and do another pass.
Why wouldn't you have just hit it to return trip?
Because you can, but since this valve over here sprays less, it'll kind of even it out.
Okay.
And it's really hard to see the solution on white. You
Yeah.
can see it on black.
Yeah. I've seen the sprains on the black. Yeah.
So if you come out here and you want to pre-treat a bunch of shirts because you want to have some ready, or you know you got a big job, set both these up.
Yeah.
And well, this one's curing, then you can put another one and prep it
Yeah.
because I want them to dry. Now it's a little more critical to get your shirt flat here, just because it'll leave creases,
Right. Well,
and then that'll happen a lot. The sheet will curl before you get a chance to put it down. I got some other sheets to use over there. Just see, that didn't move. I don't know why. Sometimes it won't. And you gotta manually press it. And you can do this on the screen printing dryer. That here, I just. If you cure the ink through the screen printing dryer, it gives it a much flatter look. So no gloss.
You're like, oh, crud.
No,
The
it's
shirt's
always.
on fire.
No. Luckily,
Hands on
no.
fire.
So, twice, now you can really feel that crusty layer. But that's what the ink adheres to. Anything not with ink, after it's done, you wash it and walk them out. So. Okay, so setup. First thing you do, well, if you were to look at this now, if you want to come look, there's lights on the panel here. It's got power going to it because there's a main power switch back here. Leave that on. If you leave it on, the machine will cycle the white ink every, I don't know how many hours. If you happen to hear it, it sounds like this. Pulling white from the bottles, recirculating it. So you can do it manually here, but if you leave the main power on back here, it will do it through the day. So that's why there's lights. But the power to control it is not on yet, so I'll show you that. So the startup, on the front of this sheet are what the buttons do and all the little commands to do things. And then back here there's how you start the machine up. So before you get started, check all the ink levels and fill if necessary. I just turned them on. If you come back here and look, you want the inks to be, when they're full, to the top of the metal right here. Not quite halfway. It's better to keep them full. Especially white. White separates. And it's got to be mixed really well. So check to see if you need to fill inks. And then you got to swirl the whites.
Where are extra inks kept?
Show you. And this is another reason to use it. Inks are down here. Of course, when we first got it, I bought big bottles.
Are there certain inks with a lower shelf life? Or
I have always asked Meijun when she orders inks, I need ink at least X number of days or months or whatever, because as long as in our environment we can get through a semester, I'm good.
It'll
But
take you all through spring.
no, just the start of spring.
Oh.
So then I need a new one. So in a classroom setting, by the time this expired, I probably wouldn't even be on this machine in the class because I'm doing other things. So I don't want ink to just sit here. So the ink expiration dates are important. So I start buying little bottles. I guess it depends on how you buy it. If you got to go through a PO, it takes forever. If you can use a credit card, it's faster. There is, so I keep all the ink down here, but I also keep cleaning chemicals. This one says expiration date is 9/14/23. I should cross it out. I keep filling this bottle because I don't want to, I fill it from these because I don't like pouring from these.
Yeah.
It's easier from this. And then when I clean, I use this. I dip the little swab in this instead of this. But I have cleaning solution that expired in 24. How can a cleaning solution expire? I'm not worried about the cleaning stuff. So these are the normal cleaning, this super cleaner. It goes in this bottle. And it's what you flush the head out with and you wipe the edge of the ink head with and all that. This one is super nozzle cleaner. This is stronger, and you very rarely use this. It expires of September of 25. It expires 9. And I got an empty bottle of the super cleaner. So those are all the chemicals and the inks. There's parts down here. These are the manuals and stuff. Lint rollers. There's a lint roller. And then alcohol. This is a 70% alcohol, which for some of the cleaning things, if they say use alcohol, that's what they want you to use.
That's not normal rubbing alcohol.
This is stuff you buy in a store.
Okay.
This, we buy 5 gallons out there. This is 99% alcohol. This is stronger. And some of the components they told me don't use it on. So, but I use this to clean ink off the table and everything. Okay,
3 gallons.
how do you fill this? This unscrews.
Can use it anyway, right?
Oh.
And then you unscrew this. And then you fill it. You will have to remember that.
Teaching us to do
Yes.
whatever we want.
And I'll show you.
Okay.
The reason I went with this machine is because it's called wet capped. Honestly, now after the fact, I don't know if it matters or not. But the print head sits over this solution that's filled in the capping station. So that moisture is supposed to keep the print head from
Viable.
clogging,
Yeah.
but this stuff evaporates. So a long time, yeah, it dries up. A week, not gonna be a big deal. But the more it gets used, the better. Same with that machine.
Same with the rolling, you know.
Well, yeah, because they're all inkjet. That's the
Yeah.
whole nature of inkjet
I mean-
is I want to dry in the print head. Okay, so we swirled the white ink. So back to this. Make sure the inks are filled, swirl the white ink.
What did you put in there? The cleaner or the alcohol?
This cleaner. No alcohol. Alcohol only goes on rag to
clean
wipe
parts.
things down. Filling these, sometimes you spill. Cleaning stuff, you spill, wipe it up with alcohol and one of these blue rags. So then, to start up, they tell you to run this circulation 45 to 90 seconds, so you can't take it that long. Walk out of the room if you want to listen to it. But what it's doing is it's pulling ink through up to these little circular discs, and then it pumps it back in. Swirling, gets the sediment kind of mixed in, and then we do what's called prime the ink. So if you come over here and look, all the ink lines have clips on them. So right now they're closed, and when you're done using the machine, you got to clip them. And that keeps ink from drying out in the tubes. So I got to prime the ink line, so I'm going to open the white only. I'm going to reposition the clip and see where it was. It's pinched. You want to massage it, kind of form it back and get because the ink will settle right there. And do that on all of them. Look for a spot that maybe you're not clipping in the exact same spot.
Move it around a little bit
Yeah,
so it doesn't start to wear on that one area.
yeah. These are a consumable part, this small piece right here, which I just replaced.
How often?
We've had a couple years, first time. And I only did it because we changed the print head and the dampers and everything, so. I have 2 more capping stations. These are the dampers, so I have more dampers if things break.
Bless you.
These are those hoses. that get replaced. So they go onto the damper and then they clip, go onto the ink lines. And I have new clips. When Meijun's got money, I just collect parts. And these are pads that go in here and under here, just to soak up.
Excess.
They call that a spit tray.
And so where do the dampers go?
On these white boxes right
Oh,
here.
those are, okay.
Yeah. When I did the print head, they said you normally want to change this, but the guy inspected it and said it looks good, so we didn't change it.
How old is this machine?
21.
Oh, so it's fairly new.
11, 12 of 21. When you prime it, you do white first. So I didn't unclip the colors. Okay? And then you press, I think it's power down. But you go here and look for prime ink lines, power plus down. So you press power and then down.
Together.
Press power first, then press down, and let go.
While you're still holding power.
So what it's doing is it's pulling white ink through, but it's also sucking all the solution that was in the capping station. So it'll be really dark, and then you wait for it to turn white. And then we know we've got white ink going through it. Yep. To stop it, you press function. So every button you press and it does something, it runs through a cycle before it stops. I've learned the hard way because I start doing something and the print head moves. And it's like, it's like, so
Sorry.
you got to be patient and just wait for it.
We know it's making bubbles.
So you can see the capping station here. So then it goes back. So our priming was good for the white, spitting out white ink. When it stops, open up all the other colors. Massage them.
There's a lot to it.
Yeah, it seems like there is, and I thought the same thing. When you do it, it goes pretty quick. And so I'll prime again. So it should start spitting white and then instantly start changing colors. It'll do that a lot, bubbles.
Can you see each color going into the excess bottle? Like
Not really. If it runs too long in one priming, it's not good for it. And then function shuts it off. So I just waited till it was black coming out. That means all the colors.
blended together and coming out. Yeah.
You said to stop it, you power down and then press function?
Now power down will start priming.
Oh, yeah.
To turn priming off, function.
Yeah.
Function
Alright,
is right
cool.
here. So when you print it, it's always unclipped, right?
Unclipped.
Everything.
Yes.
The clipping of those just makes it so the ink isn't continually trying to be
Kinda-
drawn in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So only clip these when you're shutting it down. Okay, so all of this is set and ready. Just to show you, if you press function up, it'll move the print head. So you can see the capping station. And once it's undocked, you can slide this. But here, come look at it just so you see it. There's a wiper, there's two capping stations, one for white, one for the color. That's stuff you gotta clean at the end of the
Yeah.
print day. I've replaced it once and I forget the problems we had. You can have a problem with the wiper. It's not functioning properly. Other than that, I forget, to be honest with you.
When you replace it, it's all just screws and nuts?
Yeah, it's a process. So, capping station has tubes and electrical wires that plug into a circuit board. So it's a process.
Yeah.
And you gotta be careful.
On YouTube videos. So.
Yeah, there's so much out there.
Alright.
I mean, the repairs I've done to this point have all been via Zoom, and they tell me what to do. So take these screws out, take that pitot out, do this, do that. So same thing. You're watching a video.
Yeah, nice.
To reset the print head, press function. It'll go back. So after you've primed, you have to do 2 head cleanings. Now you can do head cleanings straight from the machine or from the print diagnostics stuff, which we will go into. But to do the head cleanings, you got to turn this on now. So right now, only power is back here that's on. To turn the power on here, you press and hold power for 4 seconds. And now it's going to run through a cycle and do its
So
thing.
what's this?
That's the white ink circulation.
Oh, this is the first button you
Yes.
press, right?
So
Okay.
now it's showing us we have power. Whereas when just that's on, this light's not on. So that's the normal look. Power on, status is on, and the layer button. Next thing is head cleanings. Once you have power here, if you press the feeding button for 4 seconds, it blinked at me. Now the power light's blinking and the head's going to move. It's going to go through a cleaning cycle. And you do that 2 times.
2 times. This is it, 2 times?
Yes. So the light's solid, it beeped, it's done, and do it again.
2 times. Even the waste toner inks on the Roland and the Epson, that's where I dump it in the back whenever it gets full. So
Well, those are
the bottle-
UV too.
Cat litter, yeah.
All of our water, you dump stuff down the drain, goes to a treatment, and our water gets used for golf courses. I don't know if that's true, but hey, so they can clean this.
Yeah, that's why you see signs everywhere say, please
purple
don't drink the
signs.
water. Yeah, purple signs that say, please don't drink the water. This is recycled water.
So you can dump it in the cat litter. Since it's water-based sink, I've been putting it down the sink. Haven't had an issue. After the head cleanings, we do nozzle check. So Mijin, would you grab the big shirt cord? When you put one of these in, there's a sticker up here. Mary, look at that. That goes towards you over here. Like this. So the shirt board always goes with the label facing you in this corner. So if you look and there's a gap here, that. I'm gonna have it here because your image will not be in the right spot.
The stickers on this side?
Yes, right up here. And there should be one on every shirt board. Not this sticker. And you can see, if you put it on this way, the shirt's not in the right position. When you put a shirt on, I used to do it while these were off, and you can do that. But now I tend to do it right here. And if you put it on here, a lot of times it'll move. So always make sure you
Back in that position.
put it back in this corner. Probably the most important thing on this machine is making sure this, whether it's just this, which we're gonna do now, or with something on it, is not too high. Okay? Because the print head will hit it.
Oh, wow.
And cha-ching.
So you can adjust the height?
Yes.
Then, okay.
There's an up and down button. So I can lower it. Now if you press and hold it and then let go, it'll go down automatically all the way. And then I can raise it. I can raise it too high. So I let go and it's coming up.
Just coming up all the way.
There's nothing there to tell it when to stop. So there's a light here. So right now, I'm way too high. Okay?
Was it the red light there?
Yeah, over here.
Okay.
Why would you adjust the height?
Because you could have different thicknesses of material.
Okay.
I'm gonna lower it all the way. I always do this. I had a head strike once and it was not pretty. It made mess. Made lots of scary noises. So I always lower it. Press and hold down, it'll go down. It's all the way down now. You have a front and a rear button, so I can move the head over, and you can see how low this is to this little light beam. So if you happen to have it down here and you printed, you're gonna see ink come out of the ink head and just float and make a mess. Because it's gotta be within a certain distance.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
to set the appropriate height, this has to be all the way back, and you press function plus rear. So if I press function and then press rear, it's gonna adjust it automatically. So I use that all the time now.
Do you want to do that with your garment on?
Yes, but before we print anything, we have to do nozzle check.
Okay.
This is still the startup procedure. So it automatically set the height based on this little laser thing. So if I move this back, you can kind of see it's below the light, but there's another little eye right below it.
Yeah, I can see it going to the other
Yeah, you can see
side.
over here on top, there's a couple lights on this side.
Okay.
So I can move with front and rear manually. There's also a standby button. Press it once and it'll go back. It'll go forward. So I need it back in this position to do the nozzle check. The only place you can do a nozzle check is from the computer. Can I sit here, Mary? Yeah. This is going to be another issue, which we've got to work with IS to figure out, because right now, David thinks, because it's under my login, he thinks the software only works under my login. Okay, so to do the nozzle check, you have to go through the control panel. Do you guys know PCs?
The beginning part.
How to get there?
Yeah.
So I just pinned it, so the control panel should be down here.
Sweet.
Go to hardware and sound, and devices and printers. And this is only for one printer, and it's the one with the green check mark. It's an Epson Stylus Photo R2400. The print head, the guts are all that printer. So that's what they use the driver for. And you right click on it, and you open the printing preferences.
What's it called?
Epson Stylus Photo R2400. It will show the inks here. You can't rely on that because we use a bulk system. The printer itself will tell you it's out of ink. You know, if it comes up, I'll show you how to fix it. But these don't really have a bearing on it. So you go into the maintenance tab, and you have all these things. So you can do a head cleaning from here, but we did it from the feeding button. And then you do a nozzle check from here. So you click that button, this window opens, and you say print. It has to be in the forward position. You have to have already set up the height, and you print directly onto the pallet. When it's done printing, the print head will move back. And then you come up here, and you gotta get at a certain angle to see it, but there's 8 sections. And you wanna visually check it and see if anything's dropping out. So figure out what works best for you. I find right here, I can see everything.
Yeah, the white's very visible on that one corner,
Yeah,
but
these 4 are the white,
Yeah.
and colored.
So the line should be.
Oh, I think, like, there's an e-boxes.
This one's got some broken stuff in it, which I think is yellow. Can you
Magenta,
see
blue,
some
and
broken lines right in the middle there? It
A
looks like it's empty.
little bit, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so alcohol. That's what I use the big bottle for. Clean it.
This is all nozzle check.
Yep. I'm gonna do a head cleaning
yeah.
and see if it helps that.
Okay.
What was your 99% stuff you use right now?
Yes.
So you check your lines, make sure there's no broken lines.
Yeah. They tell you to do it on clear. If I did that, I couldn't see anything. Well, I don't know. Since I did the nozzle check, you have to press finish to get that away, and I'll leave this up. We'll do it again. But this red icon right here, this one, it's called Direct Rip. That's what runs this.
That's the
Just an
driver.
FYI, there is VersaWorks for that.
Yeah.
So I don't have to set the height because it's already set. And then I'll go back and do another nozzle check. Print.
Ken, after we did the nozzle check the first time, what did you hit?
Feeding
Feeding
for 4 seconds.
Okay.
And then it's doing another head cleaning.
Okay.
But you can also do from right here.
Okay.
It's all the way to the corner here.
Yeah,
Yes, it is.
it actually puts some print on top of the
Around
light.
the edge.
Yeah, as
Oh
well.
yeah, there.
Yeah, right here.
So we good?
Can you
Yeah, that
see
looks,
it,
that
Wyatt?
looks pretty.
Okay. How do you clean it?
With alcohol.
99%.
Somebody clean it. Okay, so we're ready to print. So we think. Okay, after that, if it's good, you can close all these windows.
Except for your rip, except
Yeah.
for your driver.
So now, the rip. Let me run through it. So, see these two little windows? This one says QRIP, print options, and then channels. If they're closed, which happens, go to view. So you go show QRIP. That's the little print options dialog box.
Okay.
That's the one you want. The channel palette, you don't have to have if you're not printing on black. If you're printing on shirts that do not require white ink, you don't need that. And you only need it to see that it added the white channel. Once you are ready to print, the first thing you have to do is bring a file in. So if I click and drag and bring a file in, this is what you see. And you can move this around, and you can have multiple files open. Most of the time I use a thumb drive. From the workstation or any of the student computers, you can go, well, I can, because it's set up, it's my login. I have access to the graphic shared folder, so I drop stuff in here
Nice.
if I'm on that computer. So let's say that's the file we want to print. Now we have to define what are we printing. So if you notice, the background's all transparent.
Right.
This takes transparent PNG files. That's it.
Oh, that's it.
Yep. Makes it easy. So from Illustrator, from Photoshop, you can export to a PNG file. Just make sure it's transparent. The higher the resolution, the better. So 300. You'll see degradation if you're trying to print 72.
So no,
Yeah.
no PDFs.
Uh-oh.
And so it's all raster then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Raster vector files at 300. You're not going to see the pixels anyway. Plus, you're printing on a fabric, which softens the edges. But notice the white in here. It's solid.
Right.
That's because this is set up to print on a black shirt. I could still print it on a white shirt. If you print on white, it's not going to print the white. If you print on black, it's going to print white and then print the color on top. But to get it to do that, you have to check. First thing you do once you bring the file in is go to this environment tab and you define what you're going to print. There's a big list here. We always go to this one. Freejet 330TX Plus. That's this printer. And TX quality mode. So you go here, you choose this, and then you define what you're going to print on. So white is white, black is black. Dark is anything that's not white or black. Right? That's how it was told to me.
You
Now,
want black cotton too.
I have told the machine I'm printing on white and printed on light colored fabric. It all depends on your image. So
Our image.
that is something you have to kind of test and play with, because I don't have all the answers there.
Knock it out.
So when you print white, right? It has to be white in the file. So let's say you're only printing white and you want white text or a white image. You have to convert it to white. You're not going to see it on the file
Right.
until you open it up.
And then you'll just see everything sitting on the checkerboard.
Yeah. Okay, so you define what you're going to print. So I'm just going to say white cotton right now. So after that's set, then you choose the shirt board that you're going to print on. For this, it would be on the big one. That's the default board,
What's it called? Part size?
palette size.
Part size.
It's strange to me because that says palette size, but then they call it a shirt board. Why isn't it a palette?
Shirt board standard?
Yes, that's the big one. I don't have this extra large one. Now there's other stuff here that I really haven't changed anything except this X position and this color strength. But other than that, I haven't really done anything in here. This X position will change depending on your shirt board after you go through and set everything. That is predefined based on the shirt board you choose. And then where you're positioning it and when it sets up. And that's why that one shirt board has the label on the back, because it's wrong. They didn't even know it. And they helped me go through this, and we found a bug. Anyway, so once this is all set, and since we're printing on a white shirt, I don't need to do anything else up here. Then you come to this QRIP window. Where do you want your image? 99.9% of the time, it's going to be top center. Right? But if you look at the little icon, you got 9 little squares, plus you have a little drop down. So you can choose different locations. So if you look at this image, see how the image goes right to the edge at the top. So when I print shirts, you want your image to be 3 fingers from the edge of the collar. That's standard in t-shirt printing, which is roughly 2 inches. So there's not 2 inches built into that file, right? So I have to lower it, and I'll show you how to do that. So when you put your shirt on, you have the option of putting your shirt on so the collar is just off the lead edge, and then you drop it 2 inches in the software, or pull it off 2 inches, don't drop it, or build that 2 inches into the file.
But if it's
That's
a hoodie, you get that material right here and it prints weird.
You can. Now, let's say you're doing the maximum image, 12.5 by 17, right? And you want it to start 2 inches down, right? Well, you can't add another 2 inches, because that will make it 19. And it's going to tell you, can't do it. So then you have to move the garment. So it all depends on the scenario, but those are kind of your options. You move the shirt, you drop it in the rip, or you build it into the file. You can change things. Margie was printing a big image that wouldn't fit on the palette, the width, but it fit the length, but it goes across the shirts. So we put the shirt on this way. There's some figuring out you gotta do. But I can move the image from any one side. Normally you're dropping it from the top, but I can move it in from the right or the left or up from the bottom.
I see.
So again, most of the time you're top center. Now this doesn't have any extra space. So after I set this, you can also change the size in here. Well, I've used it a few times where I screwed up and I built in a margin and I had to change the size to get it to work. So you just click down here and you can change physical size or you can change percentage, and that will reduce it or enlarge it. So if this is good, I'm going top center. Another thing I don't like about it, these 2 little icons. You're going to use both, but use the left side first. So you click that little icon, and you get this print setup window. So it's going to have your environment plugged in here, some other information. First thing you do is in this port window, you choose the printer. And there's only one, but you have to choose it. So it's highlighted in here. Open the properties button and see these little icons on the margins? They're weird. This is the one we would put 2 inches in. And you can use these arrows, or you can highlight it, just put a number in, not 20, 2.0. Now see how the arrow points up to the lines? That's the top of the palette. So that would make that the bottom of the palette, right side, left side. So if you wanted to move something,
You can
it's
put in.
funky. I gotta stare at it a little while to figure it out. I wanna know it's gonna work, so I set it up. So once you set this, you press OK, and OK again. So I grabbed this shirt, I put it on. The way you put the shirt on, there's 2 ways. And this palette, see the gap in the blue down there? That's called a threadable palette. Doesn't always work. So you can technically open it up to do that.
Put it on like that, yeah.
I don't do it. I just found it easier to lay the whole thing on top. And normally you want to eyeball it. Now it is upside down. It would normally be the other way.
Right.
Eyeball it and make sure it's centered. So notice how this moves around. So I want it nice and flat. This tucked in really good. Any excess, put underneath. Because this comes through and you really don't want it rubbing against it. So, nice and smooth. Yeah, there's wrinkles. The goal is if you were to look like this, you want it to be nice and flat. If you got bumps,
Where do
don't
you
print
get your
it.
t-shirts?
From Meijun. She asked where I get my t-shirts. I said from Meijun.
Oh, you mean buy extra
Yeah.
t-shirts?
That's 100%.
Ring-spun wood cotton?
Combed.
Ring spun combed cotton. Next level, or this is a next level, or canvas, Bella canvas. They're much, much softer. The weave is tighter. The ink sits on it better. Hanes Beefy Tee, they'll work, just not as good. Now we set it up to print a nozzle, check, and I put a shirt on. So you want to lower the table
Realign.
and redo it. And to do that, after you press function rear.
Should this be
Nope.
down now? No.
Nope.
Stays
I
up.
leave it up.
Okay.
But function and then rear. Let go. So now it's going to read the height of the shirt. So if you have waves, it's going to read the highest point. And you don't want that. You want it flat as can be.
And at this point, if your shirt wasn't set correctly in there too, you'd see that it would be snagging on the bed.
Yes, you want to try and tuck everything in
Yeah.
as much as possible. After it measures the height, it'll be in the forward position. It's ready to print. So, this is not pre-treated down here, and for the most part, white shirts, you don't have to pre-treat. Actually, today, because I'm going to take you in and show you how to pre-treat. I'd like to do the same image on a pre-treated white and non-pre-treated, because I've never done that. But a lot of people I know that do this tell me they quit pre-treating white. It's just not worth the hassle.
Because what does the pre-treating do?
It allows the ink to adhere to the fabric.
I see.
So if you pick up one of those, that black shirt, you feel the front of it. It's
Yeah,
crusty.
I can see it
You
actually.
can see it, you
Yeah.
can feel it. that'll wash out after it's printed in the first wash. And again, I'm learning this machine I have, and it's got some issues, so I may have way too much. The solution adheres and dries to the fabric, and that attracts the ink and holds it, so it binds with it. I have printed black shirts without a white underbase, and all the ink soaks in, and you can't see it,
Oh, that makes sense.
because it's transparent.
Wait a minute, well,
So, that's set, ready to print. We set the file up. You click the right icon and say, okay. You think it's a print dialog, it would say print.
Yeah, not
Okay,
that was the right.
the right icon. And then it will. Now, for whatever reason, and it happens, you've set it up to print, and then you move the print head back to, you want to double check you got the height right or something, I don't know. And then you push the print head back up using the standby button, and then you print. Sometimes it'll blink an error. If you press standby, it'll go back, press standby again, it'll come forward, and then it'll start printing. Just a little hiccup. So now it's printing, right? It's printing.
It's scary with that thing open, how it jiggles back and forth, so.
Yeah, and it has fallen a couple times, but with it down, all those hoses rub.
Oh,
And I don't like
okay.
Really?
Okay.
Plus, I like to watch it.
Okay. Can you take that lid off?
Yes,
So then.
but then I don't want to, when I shut it down, I want the cover on it.
Yes, yeah, cover
Yeah.
on it, but if
Yeah,
you're
it's-
using it heavily,
Yeah, it's just 2 screws on each side.
okay. Like if you're doing 50 shirts, then it'd be
Yes, you
feasible
could
just
take
to
it
take it off, to not have it be,
Bouncing.
yeah.
Yeah,
back and
well,
forth.
good.
Okay.
I shut off all the valves. I'm gonna take the water out. Put this one in. To clean this line.
Oh, so one line at a time?
Yeah. So then you open this up. When you open it, the light here comes on. That means it's in the clean mode.
Clean.
Um,
Green clean.
So to clean it, you got to turn the valve on. Since we're sucking from the black cotton valve, even though it's in the water. So I turn that one on. And this one is draining. It can get messy. And then to clean it, you can see the liquid, the white, right? The way this works, when this activates, it means when you press it, it's going to spray from this nozzle first.
The left
And
one
you
is
want-
the left one and the right one, the right one.
Yeah. And you want something under here. Press and hold it for 3 or 4 seconds. And it sprays. When you stop it, that lights up, which means it's going to go to this nozzle. Press and hold clean again.
It already knows to go to the right one?
Yeah, it does it automatically.
So you just do like 10 seconds?
Well, I'm watching the tubes also.
Oh, you're watching the tube.
They're not cleaning very well. They're still pretty milky. So I'll probably do it again. Turn my nozzles down. So now it's pretty much water. So I can stop it. Pull these off.
Pull this out?
These,
Oh,
the nozzles.
oh.
This stuff gets really sticky and gummy. So these have to be cleaned.
With the alcohol?
Water. So now that I've taken
What
that
about
out,
what you unscrewed it from? Should we clean that with?
I do clean it. But now that I have these, I come over to the sink. dump that.
Dump in the sink?
Yes. I didn't want it to overflow. I've been okay, but.
Now we're
So-
switching it over to the,
Well, this is your drain bottle and hose. And so it was pretty full. But if you look in here, you can see the base is kind of tapered here. So it will drain, although it's slow. What I do is this is regular water, no label. Dump it all around.
Nice.
do we need paper towels to dry it so it doesn't rust?
Yeah.
It does rust. And that's just the way it's made. I can't do anything but rust. I mean, you gotta clean it.
Yeah.
So I use these to wipe everything. So that's just water. And then I'll wipe up here all the areas that have that milky stuff. It looks like it needs to be cleaned. Wipe it down.
What about this inside of this window?
Yep, I get all that also.
Can they use alcohol? No?
Just water. Yeah.
Well,
That's
alcohol
so-
better?
I don't think so. It's just a water soluble solution. So see, it doesn't drain very fast. So sometimes lift it up, help it drain. I don't want to stand here. It goes under this black area, but it comes out the back. There's a hose coming out. Clean these. Unfortunately, I thought these were stainless, but they don't look to be because they're starting to rust. All right, then we shut this, and then put this back in here. And then put this one back in here. Put that down.
Do you leave it open to dry?
No, I gotta put the nozzles back on. So I'll go back over here, I'm gonna rinse this out. Hang on to this thing.
Oh, you
And then put them back on. I don't position these when I put them back on because I do that when I go to use it. So I just screw them on. Where it lands, and then I
Yeah, because you have to do like kind of angle.
and then close it, and then turn the power off. So that's done.
Nice.
What about this one?
That one I already turned off.
Okay. Feels
What's
And
fine.
that one,
Oh,
huh?
I'm sorry. What's that red button?
Emergency stop.
It was so when you spray, you can
Yeah.
force it to stop.
If it started exploding or something, I guess. I don't know.
Where's the power switch on?
In the
There's a
back.
little power icon, you know, that circle with a line in it.
All right.
You press that, then you press another one, and then the screen changes and it tells you to turn the main power off over here.
Okay.
So
Cool.
there's
Thank
that.
you.
I'm going to take these back. Okay, now the printer. Okay, so this, I always take the palette out when I gotta clean this. I want it in the way. I press standby to bring it forward. In this drawer, there's a bag of these things. You get one of those, and you get this. And you press function up. That releases the print head.
Function up. Dock. Print head.
Dock.
Dock.
Undock, yes. So now I can see this and I can clean that. And then you can clean down here. Never, ever, 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 under any circumstances, ever wipe the print head surface.
Never ever.
Never ever.
What would happen if ever?
So this is a print head. This is the one out of here. You're only cleaning here, 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 and here. And these edges on the metal, see where that buildup is? Never here. You'll destroy the print head.
Oh my.
$1,500.
Yes. So you take some of this solution. And you just come under here and you wipe the front surface, the back. The back catches, because there's a
it's
screw. Yeah. So you just gotta be careful. But
Is it better to come over to here to
you
do it?
could,
I see it better than you can. I can tell what you missed.
and that, oh, thank you. I'm gonna bring it back to her. So the three sides, the back, this side, the front, and then right here. This black piece and this metal piece pick up a lot of ink.
Oh yeah, there's a lot.
Wow.
Yep. And then just the edge of this metal, right there. But never the flat
Middle
print head
part.
surface.
Uh-huh.
That is like the last resort. If nothing's printing and you've done everything, then I will scrub it. And it didn't help.
It must be something else.
See, look.
So after you do that, and it all depends how dirty they are, more solution, and you clean the wiper blade here.
And this is every time we finish.
Yes. And then all around the edge of the capping station. Which if you maintain it, just like this, it's not bad. It doesn't get very bad. Okay, then what you do is you come over here, you unclip this line under this bubble. So you do this, and then you pump it a few times. And then you look in here, and you put solution in the capping station.
Oh.
Then, you press this plunger down, right here, and it sucks all that solution out. And then you do it again.
Ooh.
So, pump it. And when you pump it, look in here, because you don't want to overflow
Overflow
it,
it.
but you need to fill it.
Is that good?
Yeah, no, pump that. Okay. Your
You
turn.
can see it here. How many times you have to do it?
Depends. I'm looking to make sure it's clean.
How do,
And I may have wanted to clean the edges after this. I think I got ahead of myself.
okay.
You see how the white's getting really
Still
clean?
there. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is black, but it's clean. All the main color that was in there is gone. So that's probably good.
Okay.
So after that, press standby. Your turn. Pump the button.
Pump again?
Yep.
It's gonna go somewhere else?
So you pump
No.
like 4 times?
Yeah, this one you want to watch. We want it to the top. One more. Okay. Clip that line.
Clip?
Yep. That way no more liquid can go.
Okay.
Press function.
Place. Function. Function.
It's going to reset this over that liquid, which helps keep it from drying out. And it'll do some stuff, and it should beep at us when it's done. Guess it didn't.
That keeps it.
Still waiting, because I've always gone too fast. Then we want to clip all these lines again.
Okay.
So I want to look for a spot it's ever been clipped at. Just kind of,
That's all in the notes, right?
no.
That's in the GoPro.
Okay, so those are clipped.
Kind of like
It's
what you
wet
have for
capped.
IV, huh?
This is locked, that's good.
The clip.
This can get closed. We press power. It beeps, the light goes out. Will you put that back in here for me? One last thing, this gets cleaned. We take this off. It just sits in there. Take it off, unscrew it, dump it in the sink.
Sink?
Yep, the big sink, and rinse the bottle out really well.
Okay.
See, that wasn't bad. When I
Yeah.
first started doing it, it seemed like it took forever. Now it's pretty quick.
Wipe around the sensor, pump the stuff out, and drop the bottle out.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's, and it's all in the instructions.
Mhm.
And then put the cheat sheet back.
Cool.
And I leave the main power on.
All the time,
Yes.
even during the whole summer.
Yep, because then it'll cycle through into the white
And you
recirculation.
never want to leave the power on the heat press.
No.
Yeah, you always want that one on.
DIO-nized.
You think we filmed it all?
Just, for the most part, yeah. Yeah, it's just better doing all those things.
Cool.